Hello my scrappy friends and welcome to my channel today. Today's share is for Scrap the Boys. It is for the May challenge. My goodness, we're in May already. This was the inspiration piece that we had to work with this month. And this is the page that I created. You've probably seen already, all of the other girls have gone more literal with the inspiration piece. What caught my eye, so I had the inspiration piece sitting next to me as I flipped through my photos, and what caught my attention was Baby It's Hot Outside, and the two photos that I just showed you, photos that my husband took when he was helping with the fires that were in WA earlier this year. He is a volunteer firefighter and got sent away to help out, and when I saw those photos, I was like, well, it definitely was hot. And I thought that some of the colors in the photos, so the yellowy color is in the florals in that inspiration piece. The water kind of goes with, doesn't go with fire, but it kind of goes with the whole idea of fighting fire. So my take on this challenge is quite a bit more abstract than most of the other girls, but it's what inspired me, and so I ran with it. What I've got, the collection that I'm working with today is A Case of the Blouse by Pink Fresh Studio. I've pulled in some green and some yellow. I think they're both from Bella Boulevard collections, and that black around the border is also a Bella Boulevard paper from Lucky Stars collection, which is like 2014 or something. So I've got a lot of inspiration from the colours, the sentiment, and you can see from the layers that I've got down the bottom there. So I've got the blue, which is that grid, which is the blue of the bath, and then the yellow diagonal stripe and the green paper, and that's kind of the same combination of like the way the colours are in the inspiration photo. So yes, my take this month is definitely way more abstract, but I'm really happy with this page. I had been waiting for just the right inspiration, just the right products to scrap these photos. I'm very grateful that though he was the one that went away, this was what we could offer to help when Australia was screaming for help with the bushfires. I have fussy cut that arrow from one of the pattern papers. It says some days are tough. And I was showing you before, I've been talking about my inspiration, I'm sorry. I was showing you before that I had two 3x4 photos, but I felt that the landscape photo was, the one of the actual fire, was too small. So I went and I reprinted that as a 4x6, and I'm much happier with the way that the 3x4 landscape photo of hubby is with the 4x6 photo of the fire and the bushland. So I printed that at 4x6. I decided that I wanted to bring in some black to all of my edges just to give a little bit of definition, and I'm just using, I think it's my archival black soot ink with an ink blending tool. I'm going to mount these photos on white. And I don't even know why I bother using a paper trimmer, because none of the stupid things are cut straight. It's driving me mental. Please tell me I'm not the only one. Please. So I'm just mounting my photos on some white cardstock just to give them a little bit of separation from that background. Now, this layout, I'm sure you saw, this video is really long. I've sped it up as much as I can. I have cut out as much as I can, but this layout goes on quite a bit of a ride. If you follow me, you know why I'm not a huge fan of brown, and I use brown. And just watch and see what happens. So yeah, I thought I would, my thinking process was there's a lot of brown in the photos and kind of represents fire and the devastation that's left behind, and that's kind of what I was thinking. But yeah, you'll see what happens. I decided I wanted to ink the edges of the photos as well, just to give those a little bit of definition from the white paper behind them. I'm really sorry, I'm really all over the place right now. It is actually the 1st of May today, and I don't know, for some reason I thought it was tomorrow. I think I'm just excited about International Scrapbooking Day weekend. Maybe we should just extend it to a month. So yeah, I'm just building my layers here. This arrow moves all over the page. It does end up being my title piece. There ends up being lots of words on this, which I don't have a problem with at all. But there is a lot of words on this page. Decided I wanted to bring a bit more colour in, so I've gone into my scraps and pulled this. It's a reddy orangey colour. I think this is maybe a Heidi swap paper, perhaps. Could be completely wrong, I'm not sure. Adding some black to that. I put some of the orange behind this photo. I trim it down. I don't think I make you watch all of this bit. I can't remember though, there's lots of bits. I do make that a full border around. Try to line it up so you can't even tell. You'll have to forgive me, I did make this layout a couple of weeks ago. So yeah, and if you noticed, I do change clothes a couple of times. This layout did come together over the course of a few days, and what I'm currently wearing in the video is some new pajamas that I got for Easter, and they're the Harry Potter ones. Thank you, Easter Bunny. So as you can see, I have changed my mind about the orange. I'm moving things around. I could not decide if I wanted my photos to overlap or not, so you get to watch me move that around as well. I really struggled with this page. Okay, so this is another one of the pattern papers from the Case of the Blahs collection that I've got, and I really liked this pattern paper that has all the little, I think they're about 2-inch squares. They've got lots of really appropriate sayings. I asked for my husband's thoughts on some of the phrases I wanted to use, and he was like, "Oh my God, you can't use that." I'm like, "Well, I'm the one telling the story. I'm the one documenting this, so I can use whatever I like." So yeah, so that one says "do your thing." I think that black one says "some days are tough, but coffee helps," or something to that effect. This one, "you don't have to be perfect to be awesome," and I really like that. So you can see I'm just moving all this stuff around. This is part of what the issue was. I wanted to use all this stuff and I couldn't work out how to get it to work. As you can see, I pulled out some of my circle punches, thinking that some circles might help. I think that one with the pencil says "documenting the hard stuff." You can see I'm cutting some more. That one says it's not all good, and that's okay. Because honestly, who wants to be having to fight the fires? Yes, we have lots of volunteers and they want to go out and help when it's necessary, but none of them actually want to have to do this, right? And then I found a sticker that was a different, it was just a bit different to what I already had on the page, from the same collection obviously, and that also says "it's not all good and that's okay." I did put that onto some white paper and cut around that so that I could use it as a die cut rather than a sticker. You can see I've got more and more circles happening here. I'm going to go to my sticker sheet here. This is the same as the bigger circle I've got there that says "documenting the hard stuff," but obviously it's a sticker. I love these stickers. They're so cool. This whole collection is awesome. It is an older one, but yeah, it's great. I really, really do love it. I can't even remember what's written on the background paper, but it's not like "you are awesome, today is amazing" kind of stuff. It is very real life, kind of more along the lines of "do what you can, and what you can is enough," which yeah. So I've added some black stitching. You can see I'm moving things around again. I've stitched around the border of my page. I've stitched around my 2 photos. What else have I done? I think that's it. So I decide to stick my 2 photos together and have the one of my husband's head on the left hand side, slightly underneath the one of the fire. I'm going to add some foam here because I want a little bit of separation from my background. And I should have cut out the foam application because you do not need to see that, do you? Sorry. So I'm just adding that on there. My glue didn't want to stick. You know those layouts that you have that take, they're just hard to put together. I think for me this one was hard because I realized that this is not, what I'm scrapbooking is not a fun topic. It is not an easy topic. It is a lot of, so many people, I do get emotional talking about this. So many people had been affected so badly from these fires, so much of our bushland, and it's not easy to document. I'm incredibly grateful that we are where we are and that we have been as lucky as we have been. I'm also, like I said, grateful that my husband does volunteer. It's tough. You know, he was away for almost a week. I think it ended up being 4 or 5 days, but it was quite stressful. If you follow me on other social media, you may have seen that earlier this year we redid my oldest child's bedroom for his 10th birthday, and we had planned that particular weekend like 3 months ago because we knew that that was the weekend that we had available. We had organised for my in-laws to have the kids for the weekend so that when they came back we could surprise Jacob with a new bedroom. And then he got this call and we didn't know if he was going to be home on the Friday or if he was going to be home on the Saturday. As the week went on, it seemed like he was going to be home on the Saturday, which meant that I had to do a lot of the prep and the painting and all that kind of stuff. Thankfully, he ended up coming home on the Friday, which was awesome. So we did do most of the room together, which was fabulous. But you know, it did throw all of our plans into chaos for a while there. So you know, there was all of that kind of stuff happening as well. But like I said, I am. I know it doesn't sound like I am grateful that he is able to volunteer and that though it could have, if he'd been away longer, it could have been a disaster. It didn't really. I guess we missed him, but it didn't impact us the same way it has other people. And so for that, I'm grateful. I'm grateful that we were able to sacrifice a little bit because there's not a great deal that we can do. Yeah. Anyway, enough of that. So what I've done in the background there is Distress Oxide Spray in Ground Espresso, I think. I'm not even sure. Looking at it on the video, I don't dislike it as much as I did when I did it. But what I'm trying to do now is cover, I went too far to the left-hand side of that photo. So I'm trying to cover that up as much as I can without it looking like I've just randomly stuck something over the top of it because I didn't like it. So this is why I've left all this in. I do move things around. I stick things down and then I move them and then I tear the background and then I add this in and then I take that out. But you can see I've got this idea almost in my head of doing this vertical design with the circles. You can see it coming together. I'm still not 100% sure on it. And I was like, okay, maybe I can add something down here. This was late at night. And I just kept adding things and taking things and moving things and deciding I liked it and that I didn't and that I wanted to do something different. So I ended up cracking the sheets. Excuse my language, I did. I really cracked it and I walked away and then I went, okay, I'm just going to cover it all with white gesso. So that's what I've done here. Covered it with white gesso. I have gone in with some splatters in the Distress Oxides as well. I've used an orange, I think, a red and a yellow, I think. So I was like, okay, I'm just going to cover it in white gesso and go to bed. So this is the next day again, and I decided that I wanted like blacks and greys. I have got, this is a 13 Arts chalk spray, I think it's called. It's called Pastel Black. I'm not sure what Pastel Black is, but this color worked really well for what I wanted to do. So I'm just, I sprayed a little tiny bit on there, and use some water and the packaging technique to move that color around. Trying to add a bit more here, and I did super speed up, like I said, a lot of this video. I didn't want to go too far again like I did with the brown especially. I'm finding though with the gesso it is much easier to, if I do go too far, to pull it back a bit. The reason I didn't use gesso to start with is because I'm not a huge fan of the way Distress Oxides dry on the gesso. So that is why I did not use gesso to start with. Just adding some more of this black. So you can see down the bottom on the left hand side there is no gesso under there, and as I did it I was like, oh, am I going to regret this now too? Let's just keep going. Decided I wanted to add in a bit more grey. This doesn't actually make all that much difference, but you know, let's just roll with it. Just moving the colour around where I'm not happy with how it's dried. I am using my heat tool because by this stage I was just like, I've got to get this finished. Splatters, because what's a page of mine without splatters? Some little ones and some big ones, just using a paintbrush. And I'm way, way, way happier with this background than I was with the brown. Though in looking back at the brown, it wasn't as bad as I thought it was. So background is all done for now. Now, I showed you earlier as well that I had stuck all of this together pretty much and come up with my layers. So I'm really happy with how that's looking. I have inked everything I can. I've inked everything I can with the black archival ink, and everything's stuck down. I've got some foam tape. I've got some flat to the, I was going to say table, some flat to the background, some not. I decided I wanted to add in a bit more colour. Now, I'm really surprised at how this ends up looking. It actually, which was not my intent, it actually looks like fire. It actually, I was really surprised. Using 3 different, I do pull in a third one, 3 different Lindies. The first one I thought would be a fairly good match, but it was a bit too bright yellow for me. I think that was Yellow Rose of Texas. The second one was a bit of bubbly, and this one I can't remember what it's called. Yellow orange something. It's actually got yellow orange in the name of it. So you can see I'm just going around all the edges and adding this color. I'm starting with the yellow and adding in the a bit of bubbly color, and then I give up on the bit of bubbly color, I think, and just go straight for the yellow and that orange. A little bit does get onto the layers that are stuck directly to the background, which is okay. It just adds to the whole messy look, which I seem to be good at. So yeah, I'm just adding this color all the way around, and I'm so much happier with the way this looks than with what the brown was. And as I added the brown, I kind of went, Melinda, it's brown, what are you doing? You don't like brown, what are you doing? No, just push on through. You can do this. You can make it work. Yeah, and I just went, no, I don't like this. And yeah, so this I'm much, much happier with. This actually dries a little bit differently, and I can't explain what's different about it. But I really like the way it looks. I'm really, really happy with this. Really happy that I got this this documented. My journaling reflects exactly what I was saying before about how I was grateful that this is what we were able to give while our country was burning. So close-ups. and I've just added my journaling in down there, down the bottom, and I've got some close-ups for you. I hope that you have enjoyed the share. It was really long. It was hard to put together. Really happy with it in the long run. I'm really sorry for all the random talking, but that's apparently what you get today, you lucky people. So yeah, make sure, I would really like to see how you interpret this challenge. Are you going to go completely abstract like me, or maybe something more literal and scrap a naked 2 or 3-year-old in a fun little pool? I hope you've enjoyed my share today. Like I said, I'd love to see your take on this challenge, and I will be back again with another share. Thank you so much for stopping by. Take care, and I'll be back with you soon.